Hi, I'm Gareth. In the last few years, I've seen more and more of my clients who in the past would typically have only recruited graduates into their accounts and finance functions, turning instead to school leavers, particularly perhaps coming in as apprentices, and seeing that as a hugely important talent pipeline for bringing in capable and ambitious youngsters to their organisations. So today I've come over to Bury St Edmunds to one of our regular clients, where I'd like to talk to them a little bit about why they see that as being so successful.
Hi, I'm Abby Robinson. I'm an audit manager and exam training manager at RSM in Bury St Edmunds. RSM are a top 10 global provider of audit, tax and consulting services to the middle market, and we take on around 300 students every year nationally, covering all kinds of qualifications including the AAT.
I'm Laura Cooves. I work in the Accounts and Financial Reporting Department at RSM and I'm a supervisor.
My name's Laura Milner. I work as a supervisor in our audit department here at RSM.
We've both worked at RSM since December 2013. We've both done our AAT apprenticeship and gone on to study ICAW. I was attracted to career in accountancy as I've always been interested in business. Working in accountancy has allowed me to gain an insight into several different types of business, ranging from small sole traders up to large corporate clients. I decided to do an apprenticeship rather than going to university, as it's enabled me to gain on-the-job experience whilst earning money and qualifying in a shorter time period. I can get on with my career faster.
AAT gave me the option I didn't think I had when I didn't get my grades to go to university, and it has led me to start my ICAW and start my career. A lot of interest at the moment around student loans and student finance and how that can create a lot of debt in your life. I have been able, through having an apprenticeship, to own a house at the age of 20.
If I could pick one phrase to describe our AAT students as they progress, it would be married to the firm. By the time you finish your ICAW and you've done AAT with the firm, you've done 5 years, so you've really carved out a reputation for yourself within the office and the firm as a wider individual. So AAT getting that grounding is just instrumental, I think, in that process. From our perspective, the ability to mix learning at college with on-the-job skills is fantastic, to be completely honest with you. And the fact that the AAT is financially supported through the apprenticeship scheme is just amazing. As AAT students progress onto the ICAW, because of the grounding that they've had doing those AAT exams, they do tend to find that transition onto ICAW a little bit easier, and that does usually result in them getting actually higher marks in those papers.
I think the thing with the ICAW is that everyone almost scares you into thinking that it must be really, really hard, and actually having the knowledge that an AAT gives you does give you that grounding, and so it is a much smoother process than coming in from university and not having an accounting background.
A benefit of joining as a school leaver and starting an apprenticeship means that you can gain on-the-job experience, which really helps with your studying.
Because they've had more time actually on the job as part of their AAT studies, we do tend to see that AAT students progress in the workplace faster. Because of that experience, they're able to lead audits probably sooner. Within our office today, we've got a number of senior staff who undertook their AAT studies, managers, senior managers, associate directors, and I do think that there's a partner or two in there as well. Myself, I am an AAT completer, and I'm now an audit manager in our office here in Bury St Edmunds, so I would say that there is absolutely no way that completing an apprenticeship would be holding you back in your career. One of the things that we had a real concern about when the new apprenticeship programme came in was the length of time that the qualification needed to span. Going from a 2-year AAT programme with the new requirements, that AAT could become closer to 3 years. And I spent some time with First Intuition, and they came up with a hybrid solution for us, which means that entire AAT programme can remain within the 2 years like we were used to. It was really, really useful to work with a provider who understood the situation from our side as an employer. First Intuition have been fantastic. We moved probably 2 or 3 years ago now from a large national provider, and I look after around 20 students just in this office, so a move away from what I knew was a bit daunting. The help that I've received from Gareth, Ali and the rest of the team at First Intuition has just been second to none. We catch up regularly to talk about what's been going on with students recently, what's coming up in the next few months and any issues that we may have, and they're resolved promptly. Amy comes out to help us with our apprenticeship, all the paperwork that goes along with the AAT. With our previous provider, I had absolutely no idea what was going on. Things change all the time and there is such a lot of paperwork to be done. Amy makes the whole process, selfishly for me, completely straightforward and easy.
I really value the tutors at First Intuition. They're always willing to answer any questions that you may have.
First Intuition have a great support network and are always there to give you that extra help should you need it. There's always a contact available, whether it's by email or phone, and tutors are always happy to spend that bit of additional time with you if it's needed. First Intuition provides you with a really personal experience when you're studying.
One of the things that I really value about working with First Intuition is the quality of the feedback that I get on my students on a course-by-course basis. I look after 20 students, so receiving that to understand exactly how they're getting on their courses is really valuable. Secondly, the channel of communication, which I can't praise enough. We have open lines of communication, we speak regularly, we meet regularly, and it just means that my job is made easier. So I really value the support that First Intuition give to my students, but also the way that they support me as an exam training manager. I absolutely made the right decision to move away when we did.
Well, that was fantastic, and makes it very clear for me to see why so many employers are increasingly turning to school leavers and to apprentices to bring in their next generation of talent.